Okay, Leo, today we're going to do an open sort. So here are your spelling words. I want you to take these words, and as we go through them, I want you to say the word aloud, and then I want you to, just show us. There we go. I want you to say the word aloud, and then I want you to write it on your cutting board and put it to the side.
Okay.
And then we'll start to sort them however you want.
School, SCHOOL. Father, FATHER.
And what does that word mean?
My dad.
Your dad, yeah.
Country, COUNTRY. Year, YEAR. Light, LIGHT. OWN.
Do you see any way that you can sort those yet?
No, not yet. I probably gotta go through all the words.
Okay.
City, CITY.
What do you notice about that word?
City. It's got a Y and an I.
It has a Y at the end that sounds like I, and the C at the beginning sounds like an
S.
S. It has a soft C. Good.
LEARN. Run.
Make sure you make all the letters. Two fingers.
Food, FOOD. IEYE. High, HIGH. Earth, EARTH. Night, NIGHT.
Now, let's look at night for 1 second while you're doing this. When you play Fortnite, is it spelled the same way?
No.
No, it's spelled differently. Which do you
Night
think is correct?
Well, they're both right. They're
Okay.
both right because there's like a fighting night and there's like it's night outside.
And that's correct. So that's, what do we call that
So
one?
this
Words
is
are
the-
spelled differently but sound the same. Do you remember that? Because we've been learning about those. That's okay. That's okay. It's not
I
prefix.
remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But I don't know the name.
Okay, but you know that happens.
Yeah.
And actually, that kind of night has a silent K in front of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I don't want to. Go ahead.
Near, NEAR. Every, EVERE.
Oh. Do it again. EV.
RY.
Yeah, do it again.
EVERY.
It's a tricky one where another Y sounds like.
Night. MIGHT.
You make sure you make all the letters, please.
I am. Vowel. VOWEL.
Okay. So these are your spelling words this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way that you think you could organize these?
Yeah, sure. There. EA.
Mm-hmm.
Y's.
Mm-hmm.
Ones that end in a Y. Another Y one.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that end in a T.
Mm-hmm. Let me take your cutting board.
Ones that end in an L. And then.
Are you doing it by the way that they end, their ending sound, or are you
I'm
doing
just
it
doing
by
like
vowel patterns?
EAY, just like anything that they have in common.
Okay, because I noticed food has a double O and school has a double O, and those you didn't group together. Do you notice anything that's alike in these two words?
They both have an O-W.
Okay, so we're left with these three. Let's see if we can put these three in any of these piles that you have left. I want you to underline the vowel pattern in there. There has to be a vowel pattern in a word, so find it. Vowel pattern. You could do
I-G-H.
so.
I-G-H.
Okay, and is there a vowel pattern that matches IGH anywhere?
Oh, yeah. Over here.
Okay. That one doesn't end in a T like the others.
Mm-hmm.
But you could, if you put a T on that, it could say height. But actually we add an E, that's kind of a different word. I won't get you. Okay. What's that word?
Father.
Father. Does that match anything? What's the vowel? Underline the vowel.
Oh, E and A.
Yeah, and that one doesn't follow a rule because there's no one consonant in between. So we'll just put that one to the side. And what's that one?
I. It's all vowels.
So that one doesn't follow a rule either. Actually, I think the Y becomes a consonant because then it would be vowel, consonant, vowel, right underneath there. Okay, so put that one to the side. So what's interesting in here is you have another Y. So let's look at your Ys. The words in this column, say these words.
City, every, country, I.
Okay. Now, city, the Y makes what kind of sound?
E.
An E sound. It would be easy to spell this and write E, right? But when we write it, the Y turns into and every, when you're writing, it would be easy to write E, but that's when it's a Y. And country sounds like an E, doesn't it?
Yeah, with all the letters before it, you're just like, oh, I'll bet that's an E.
But it's a Y. It tricks us. And then I
think you can get.
And I,
E.
is there another way to spell I?
Yeah.
How do you spell I?
E-I-Y. E-E-Y. Or E-I. Or I. Just I.
Just the letter I. And so what do we call that when we have that again coming up?
I don't know. I forget.
Okay, we'll have to, when we have another
we did
word
it
that.
last week.
Yeah, we did it. So when you have another word, so this Y has a different kind of a sound, that Y. So do you think that maybe where the Y is placed in the word, it might sound differently? Did you remember learning that? Have you learned that?
No.
Okay.
I just know it.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's our Ys. I like how you grouped the Ys. And then here's the next grouping.
E-A.
You group these by EAs, okay. And near, learn, earth, year. So what's interesting is that all of these, and if you just underline the EA pattern.
Oh, they're all the second.
They're all the second, right? So go ahead, underline those. They have a consonant at the beginning.
Except for except for earth.
And they're all followed by what letter?
R.
They're all followed by an R. Interesting.
I think that might be a rule. Is that a rule?
I'm not sure if it's a rule. I don't know. But that's interesting. So if you know how to spell one of these, it's kind of easy. Near, learn, year, earth. Okay, good, okay. Let's look at food and school. Let's look at the pattern here.
They both have O's.
They both have double O's. And what does a double O sound like?
Ooh.
So,
Octopus.
Is that right? Octopus only has one. If this only had one O, what would it sound like?
Thought.
Right, good. If this only had one O, what would this sound like?
Skull.
Right, exactly. So that changes.
Yeah.
That makes it really, really long. Good. Okay. So we've got, these are tricky. I always think the O and W, own and vowel. You put those two together. And you put those two together because why?
Because they both have O-W.
O-W. Go ahead and underline O-W. in the pattern there, OW. Yeah.
I don't know.
And there aren't too many words that have that OW pattern there, okay? And how would you, what sound do you think that makes?
What, OW?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like ow, but oh.
Yeah, exactly, like ow. So vowel, right? If you take away the V and you just said owl, that's, and actually owl is a word, but we don't spell it with the EL. We just spell owl is another word. If we were to spell owl, we spell it like this with just the L.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how we spell it. If we said take away or towel, is this. A dog, the dog's mouth. Jowls, we call them jowls. It's a J. So this sound of owl is jowl here. It's this. Okay? So that's the same. Okay, last word sort here. Go ahead, bring it over here so it can reach it. Good, we've got that. Okay. Read them.
White, night, and high.
Okay. And underline the pattern.
IGH.
IGH. We almost want to say IGHT because that's very common, but
Yeah.
IGH. And that's been a tough one for you for spelling. Did you notice that? Have you studied that one?
Well, because when we left school, it was just then when we were.
Is that what you were doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is actually one of the easiest ones, I think, to learn because all you have to do is change that first letter. And I'm sorry, these are capitals. I just printed that off by accident. But might, light, night, high.
Yeah.
So when you just change that first consonant, if you have this, you can just change it. So it's that it is that sound. But what tricks us, I think, sometimes is
The G.
the G.
People think it's like G.
It also sounds like this, doesn't it? It sounds like this, ITE, doesn't it? So I know that sometimes when you do your spelling, that's what it sounds like. So we have to remember that light has that IGH. So how do we remember that? I'm not sure. I think that just comes from when we write out our words, maybe remembering that, or maybe I'll learn how to help you remember that because we want to kind of simplify it. Now, a question I have is mites, like if you have dust mites, you know, like little tiny animals, is spelled this way with that simplified spelling. So why is it not spelled this way? But if somebody is mighty, you just add the Y on again. It's this way. Okay, good. So these are some of your spelling words. Count how many are here, just so we can see. So not all of them, but
there's 25.
But there's a lot. No, that you have 25 in total, but we had some that we couldn't figure out what their patterns. So
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
So this is a pretty good start, do you think?
Yeah.
This is a pretty good start to your 25 words for the week.
There's another one.
Oh, what's on the floor? Every. Ooh, this could, ever. Which category would you put that one in?
Father. The ER.
You
At
could
the
put,
end?
you could put it on ER at the end. And what's that called? Which is we did this last week. That's on the board. It's the close.
Prefix.
It's suffix. It's the end part of the word.
It's a prefix, look.
That's RE is the prefix. But I would also put it, you could also put it in this category. See, ever. Ever. See the whole word ever is in here?
Yeah.
See the whole word? And then you just put the Y on. Every. So this kind of fits into two categories that we talked about today, because that Y makes an E sound, and the ever, this is,
Yeah.
but this isn't really a prefix here, I don't think, because in order for it to be a prefix, EV would have to be able to stand on its own, and it really doesn't. So, you would group this with which word?
I'd put it with father. I'd put both of them with father. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd put this one with father. I'd put.
Which one is this most like out
I'd
of all
put this
these
one
words?
with Y.
You'd put this one with the Y,
And I'd put that one with father.
and I would put this one underneath, because this whole word is actually inside this word. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow morning when I give you a spelling test and I ask you to spell these, what do you think?
I know them.
Okay, good. All right, great. Thanks.